This point, we're going to discuss a very important section of the style guide, and that is the philosophy and the structure behind the units of measures. So, client first uses REM, and for good reasons, because it's essentially a unit which is going to help you create more flexible solutions, especially when it comes to the responsive side of things. And as you can see over here, what is a REM? The REM unit is based on one thing, HTML root font size, which by default in pretty much every browser it's at 16 pixels. Now, you apply REM to all elements in client first, including typography, spacing, width, and anything else that requires a size unit. So it's pretty much everything. And one rem equals exactly the font size that is set by default. So in this case, it's going to be 16 pixels. If a default HTML root font size is set at 20 pixels, then one rem equals 20 pixels. If it's 16, equals 16. So you see the gist of it. So the moment that you start working with multipliers, such as 2 rems, that's going to be 16 by 2, so 32 pixels. And this is essentially the gist of it. So it's going to help you basically scale up and scale down elements and utilize this root element font size. So as you can see over here, we have an entire table, which I'd recommend you to have a look at so that you can understand with some practical examples. So again, 16 pixels, as I mentioned, it's going to be 1 rem. If you start utilizing 1.25 rems, that's going to be 20 pixels, 1.5 rems, 24, 2 rems, 32, so on and so forth. And of course, it works also for smaller rem values. So you can actually make the calculation straight in the style field by typing the value slash 16 rem and hit enter. So this is actually going to help you uh, not having to do all the calculation each and every single time that you need to find the exact rem value that you're looking for. So you can do that directly inside of your Webflow builds. So say for example that I'm here and I am setting up another size for the typography. I could, for example, say 50 slash 16 and the RAM value is already set. And that's going to make a total of 3.125. So you can see how this can work directly in your Webflow browser. So that's that. Pro tip, use Pixel to REM Migrator Infinite Suite extension to cover existing projects to REM. So this is actually something that is available in the extension. And we're also going to look at this fluid responsive generator in just a moment because it's actually pretty cool. So before that, let's briefly talk about the accessibility benefits of doing this. So browsers can zoom normally when a project is built in REM. So browser font size settings that are modified by end users will be respected, and vertical width and vertical height values are not respected for full accessibility compliance. So just a note that you have to take in consideration. Now let's talk about this fluid responsive generator. So it enables you to visually scale all elements on the page as the user changes the size of the browser. So you can maintain the design and layout across the browser sizes. And you have this nice generator which is available. If you click on showing docs, you're going to see this page essentially. And if you scroll down, you're going to encounter this fluid responsive generator. And as you can see, the moment that you start modifying the root font size on the based on the breakpoint, which you can also change. You can also add a breakpoint if you wish. You're going to essentially have the styling code right here below, updated in real time. So pretty cool and pretty useful in some specific instances. And yeah, that's that. Now let's briefly talk about the very next point, and that's going to be the minimal stacking strategy. So again, when it comes to classes and the stacking, less is more. So you always want to be mindful about these type of combo and stacking strategies. So in essence, you want to build a maintainable project and avoid deep stacking classes. Now, what are deep stacking classes? You're going to learn that in just a moment. So, as you can see over here, they have one or two classes. So, if we just added text size medium and text color secondary, that's actually pretty good, very sustainable. One or two classes is amazing. If you add a third class, it's okay. If you could avoid it somehow, that's even better. Fourth class, they say avoid. And fifth class, do not. Just like that is starting to get really tricky. And you're going to notice that it's not really a specific instance that is going to make or break the flexibility of your site, but and also your mental sanity. But if you start adding many classes and many elements throughout many pages of your website, that is really when things can get tricky, and managing your website is simply going to be very difficult and incredibly complicated. So you want to keep a minimum viable approach. And as you can see here, we have also some good insights as to how can I avoid deep stacking. So first of all, using one single custom class. For example, here they made an example where we have a text which I want it to be size medium. I want a secondary color. I want a light weight to it, and also an italic style. So you could actually merge this all inside a combo class and just call it text style alternative. Maybe add it in the main style sheet and adding some, or in the mail style guide, and add some notes on top of it so that people understand what this textile alternative is all about. And this is especially going to be useful if you're going to work with other team members on your website. And yeah, you can merge everything into a combo class. You can use the theme suite extension to merge classes as well. And overall, again, less is more. So create combo class with required styles. This is also another approach. You can simply have the FAQ item and then the is dark class, which in this case it's for merge. It essentially merges its stacked classes to a combo class. So again, there isn't like a specific rule in each and every scenario. You're going to have to do your own logic and math if you wish, and figure out what is going to be the best solution. But keep in mind this high level idea and objective overall. And also another thing, nesting another div block. So it can be useful for avoiding stacked utility classes. So uh, it's an option. You might want to be mindful with that, but you can definitely also add another div within a div. So in this case, text color secondary class, and then we have a max with large. Not too sure about what they're specifically intending right here. I get the general gist of nesting into another div block. So really going to depend on your specific scenario. So this is recommended when stacking utility classes of different types like typography and max width, which does make sense. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this for this section. So let's move on to the very next one.